A craft we originally designed for my daughter's Girl Guide group was recently revived as a craft that I shared at my grandma's senior lodge. Now I'm sharing it with you. I found these trees at the dollar store. They came with the bark on them, which I thought was a really cute addition. Originally, we started with a piece of 3/4 inch plywood and used the bandsaw to cut the tree shapes. We used 3/4 inch ply because it would give the girls a little more material to put nails and screws in. The Girl Guide badge required the girls to use at least 2 different tools. At the same time, we provided drills, hammers, and screwdrivers, choosing to use nails and screws as the light bulbs. I know, you're thinking, what a bright idea. We try. I start by drilling the holes in each tree. I had some short, fat screws left from the first time we did this, and I bought some concrete nails that were a similar diameter. I used a drill bit that was just slightly smaller so that the fasteners would stay in. There is no set number of holes, just do enough that later they can put elastics or pipe cleaners on as the garland. I'll demonstrate this later in the video. Next, I drilled the holes for the eye hooks to hang the ornament with. Here, I ran into the challenge of keeping the drill bit centered on the peak of the tree. I did a mini experiment to see if there was a way to make things work better as I was preparing a batch of these trees. I tried a center punch, hammering in some sort of pokey screwdriver, and then some sort of flat pry tool thing. The solution was the weird pry tool. Not sure exactly what it's for, but I could hammer it where I wanted the hook to go, and it made a dent, and then the drill bit went mostly where I wanted it. Now we assemble our sample and prep all the trees for the seniors. This includes putting in all the eye hooks and attaching a piece of rope, string, or something else to hang the ornament with. I used the string that I used to package my garden markers. You can also get it at the dollar store. It's kind of like a rope texture. I messed up here, but it proves a good lesson. Do not put the screws and nails in first. First, you need to paint the tree, or it's going to get really complicated. I used acrylic paints from, you guessed it, the dollar store. I used green and brown for the trees, with yellow, red, and blue and gold for the bulbs. You can use whatever colors you like. If you have something on hand, use that. There are really no rules. We have a selection of brushes that we've collected over the years, and I just used a bunch of those. But with a cup of water, you really only need one brush. I like the acrylic paint because it dries really fast and it allows you to do the rest of the project without waiting too long. Be really sparing with the paint. It takes only a very, very small amount for these trees. After painting the pine needles, you put your fasteners in. I only use screws in this example because hammering was really loud on my craft table, but they also stuck up more than I liked. I chose to fill all the holes, but again, follow your heart. Make sure you put the garland on before you paint the bulbs or you'll ruin your paint job. For garland, we provided color elastics or sparkly pipe cleaners. The sparkly pipe cleaners were the clear favorite. Lastly, paint the bulbs and attach the string. And voila! A cute, fun DIY ornament that's great for kids from 1 to 92. This was a really fun mobile workshop, and I can't wait to do more in the future. Everyone really enjoyed themselves, and the makers got to use tools and supplies that they may have been familiar with, but they got to use them in different ways. The thing I did learn is if you're doing this with smaller kids or older seniors, electric screwdrivers and smaller hammers are better because they aren't so heavy. Also, a drill has a lot of oomph, so it tends to be harder for them to control on such a small project. I hope you and your crew have as much fun making these as we did. Ciao for now.